4, 3, 2, 1.
That'll do, lad. Spot on.
How are we getting on, folks? And welcome back to another episode of the Irish Racing Hour. I'm Shane Rooney, your host, also known as the Peaky Blogger. I'm here with one of the, the rising stars of today's national hunt scene. This man has, come through the ranks from pony racing on towards Point to Pints, and now he's one of the, the leading jockeys now in the jockeys table at the moment. Shane Fitzgerald, it's great to have you on board.
Thanks very much, Shane. Thanks for having me.
Oh, sure. Look at that's it. Shane, just for those who wouldn't know you or wouldn't have heard of you or wouldn't be the biggest, supporter of the Irish racing industry, just give a brief background about yourself, where you came from, what you do, who you work for, different things like that.
Yes, look, I'm originally from Buttafont in County Cork. We started out pony racing. I had plenty of success doing that. We were very lucky to have good ponies, and you know, my father trained plenty of them there as well. And we were at it every weekend, and thankfully we had plenty of success at it. And we moved on then to Point, and I was based down with Mick Jagger from Wexford, and we had a couple of great seasons together there as well. Managed to get 2 novice titles out of it as well, and he was great to me when I was there.
Yeah, that's it. And look at Mick Goff as well. It's a great spot to be in, because that's essentially his business. He's a selling point to point man, and he wants these point to point winners. And I suppose for a young lad like yourself, going in someplace like that, you nearly know that it's going to be the start of something good. Yeah,
sure. Look, I went down there. I was just hoping to get a couple of rides out of it. Obviously there wasn't that many young lads riding 4-year-olds at the time, with the money they cost and all that, you know yourself. You're putting, it's has to be thrown up in a 4-year-old and to be opportunities to do it, but no, look, Mick gave me the chances and thankfully they worked out.
Yeah, definitely. And look at Shane, I just want to go back then to your pony racing days, because it sort of interlinks then. The experience you got in the pony racing scene, how did that, influence your success nowadays? I suppose it definitely gave you a good experience there on fiery ponies, back when you were younger, and it gave you, the experience on getting up on young, say 4 or 5-year-old thoroughbreds. That would be, there'd be a couple of, how would you say, questionable personalities to them,
Look, they're the hardest things to sit on, as the ponies. We got many falls along the years with them.
Yeah.
And no, look, it was a great experience. It's great in every way. There's so many talented jockeys after coming out of it now.
Yeah.
I don't even get into naming them because there's too many of them there. But
yeah,
the top lads now, and they come out of pony racing.
Yeah.
And just a savage experience to have before you move on to wherever you're going to go.
Yeah, definitely. And I suppose, going back then, say for you, say starting out in the industry, because people, it'd be, I suppose, they wouldn't realize that you're only really after breaking onto the scene there this year, and especially after the Listowel Festival and the Kerry National and all that, you've really started to come into your own, and you've really started to stamp your authority in the racing industry. But is it just the fact that it's been so long, say, of a process, say for you, say from the likes of pony racing on towards Point to Pints and then going into to break through into the national hunt scene? Is it just the process just fell right at your feet?
Yeah, sure. Look, I've been very lucky. I've been very lucky throughout my whole career. Everything between pony racing, point of pointing, and since I turned, I've had an awful lot of support.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of lads backing me there, and that I'm very grateful for, and getting a lot of big opportunities that you'd only dream about getting to sit on the likes of the horses I've sat on since I turned professional throughout the Pine of Pine career and all that. Like it's hard to put it into words. It's hard to put it into words. Like, it's so hard to get opportunities like that, and just thankfully I've been very lucky, and you know, hopefully we can keep the ball rolling now at that.
Yeah, well, sure, like that's it, and I like it's. I suppose there's one phrase that comes to mind, like it's an hour's pain for a minute's glory, and I think that definitely does sum up the life of a jockey. Like there's so many bad days, and there's so many rides that you'd probably wish you had back, but like with you, and I suppose with the amount of support that you're after been getting, like there's people like the likes of Shar Canlon, Gordon Elliott, Denise Foster that time as well, like, and like even say there today, like with John Ryan as well, like there's 4 very, very solid people that are backing your every single move. Like it's a great position to be in, Shane, like especially like the fact that you're still a claimer, like, and all that, like it's definitely setting up for something very, very big in the future anyway.
Yeah, sure. Look, hopefully, like I said, I've got an awful lot of support, and it's great to be getting in right. It's great to be getting rides for every trainer. But the likes of them big handicaps and the couple of races that we've been lucky enough to win, like they're just massive opportunities, and not every day can go your way, but
yeah,
when they do, all the more. And look, just very thankful to everyone, and even there, Gary Cribben as well, my agent, does an absolutely savage job. But no, look, it's hard to put it into words.
Yeah.
If you had months ago and I turned, would I be going as well as I am now? I definitely wouldn't have said yes.
You'd probably take the right arm off them. But like it's just something now that like has sprung to mind, like, because like up until I suppose a year and a half ago, I wouldn't have really known too much about you, and I'd say most of the general population wouldn't either. Like, but like, say, like even this year, like this has been an absolute breakthrough year for you, like, and like even say with the what you call it, the big race there in Listowel, like just go like for someone that's only really say in terms of say moving say from the point to point scene into the big leagues and the big dogs. Like for it to happen so quick, like can you put it into words at all, like how crossing the line in front in the Kerry National made you feel?
Oh, sure. It took a couple of days to sink in, but no, look, sure, we after running. Assemble was after running the Galway Plate a couple of weeks beforehand, and he had a nice. We thought going there that the flatter track was going to suit anyway, and to be fair, he was just class the whole way. I needed him. We got a lovely clear run around. There was a bit of carnage in behind, and luckily we escaped all of it. But no, like it was just for Joseph and Mr. O'Leary to have the faith to even give me the opportunity to ride such a class horse was just something else.
Yeah, and like I said it there earlier on about the 4 people that were backing you. There's not too much better than Joseph O'Brien anyway, or even having to say, like, when you look at like his firepower and like the types of horse that he has, like it must be great to see his name on one side of the race card and your name on the other.
Oh, definitely. And look, he's been absolutely brilliant to me since I've turned, and I'm very grateful for all the opportunities given me, and hopefully we'll have many more successful days.
Yeah, definitely. And Shane, just going on to, I suppose, this week and this time of year in terms of racing and the rides that you have, like, just go, like, have you much say rides? I know you had the 18-1 winner there today for John Ryan, but have you many more say coming up now in the next couple of days?
Yeah, I'm in Leopardstown tomorrow. I've 4 there, and I think I've 6 in Limerick on Tuesday. Okay. Too sure about Wednesday yet, but no, look, there's plenty of rides there, and hopefully a couple of good chances to come out of it too with a bit of luck.
Yeah, well, sure, like that's it as well. Like, and like the fact that you've practically the full card, say to your mercy, then in Limerick, then say the next day, like it's a great, it's a bloody great way to be. But just I suppose I want to say touch on the fact, say like that you're I suppose that like the fact that you're so new to the say the what you call it, the national hunt game, like and everything else like that. Like I know you're well experienced and all that, and the point of points and all that. Like, but say since stepping up and stepping up into the big league, like was it trickier or harder or what was the story, or did the point of points make it that little bit easier for you to say acclimatize to I suppose the whole racing scenario?
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. Like, sure, the point game was it was a great way to start. We had plenty of luck, thank God, and it definitely made it easier. To be fair, like everyone's very welcoming in the weigh room and everything there when I did turn first, and you know it's well, it's about the horses that you get and the support that you get, and is an awful lot of it too. And you know, I've had a lot of luck, thankfully, and you know, it's just it's a great situation to be in.
Yeah, definitely. And say looking back now, say on I suppose the year that you've had so far, and you look on the Jockeys leaderboard and you see your name up in the top, I think you're top 4 or top 5 or whatever it is now. Like say for essentially like for your first or second season, like it's definitely, you don't see that happening every day, especially when you see the caliber of jockeys in the game now at the minute, like the likes of the Davy Russells, the Paul Townends, the Rachel Blackmores. Like you're ahead of them all. Like,
well, sure, look, it's basically just they got plenty of good opportunities, and look, thankfully they've worked out. And sure, I don't know how long that'll stay that way for, but sure, look, hopefully we can keep holding on it.
Yeah, well, sure. Look at like the fact that you've been like, especially with the claim as well, the fact that you've been so popular and all that. Like, I can't see it changing for a while yet. Anyway, so I'd say you've got a very very good season on your hands. For like touch wood, everything goes to plan. But no, look at like in fairness to you, like you really have stepped up the game and really did, I suppose, stamp your authority in the industry, like as being one of the best up and coming jockeys that the country has. But I suppose looking back, say on this year, is there any race in particular that you wish you could relive again and again, or is it the obvious one, the Listowel festival?
Yeah, I think so. There was a couple of days there that you'd love to go back over again, but no, I'm just very grateful for the support that I'm getting, and it's crucial, and I couldn't thank everyone enough for doing it, for giving support that they're giving me. But no, there's plenty of days there I'd love to relive again, but sure, look, hopefully now we'll be onwards and upwards, and if we could get another bit of luck this week now, we'll be going very well.
Yeah, definitely. And Shane, I just want to, I suppose we won't spend too much more time on it because you still have a drive ahead of you, but just, I suppose, say looking forward to the year ahead, is there any horse in particular that you're most looking forward to riding or potentially riding, say, like with the season still I suppose plenty of firepower there?
Well, sure, look, I'm never 110% sure about anything, to be honest. Oh, look, hopefully, sure, Assemble, obviously it'd have to be one of the bigger players there. And hopefully we'll get another outing on him. But no, look, it's a lot of it is down to Gary Cribben as well. He does a lot of the organising in where I go and what I ride. I mainly leave it to him. he knows he knows better than do. Gary does, but no, look, I definitely have to say Assemble.
Yeah, definitely. Well, sure. Look at when you get a national winner of some sort, like it's probably always going to be the most special one, especially with your first. I suppose you could say like big win at the time, like. But I suppose just go and say, I suppose for the Christmas period, like, is there any in particular that you're raring to go and you're really looking forward to getting up on this particular ride?
Geez, I've a couple of very nice rides over the next 2 days.
Yeah.
I suppose it'd be one of Joseph's and Mr. O'Leary's for Scarlet and Dove.
Okay.
She's a great ride to get. And look, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to a couple of them over the next few days. And
yeah,
sure, if for another winner or so out of it,
yeah,
it'd be great.
Yeah, but sure, that's it. And Shane, I suppose just looking back, say, I know it's like not too long ago since you say made the jump from the Point of Pints into the National Hunt game, like, but if you were to, I suppose, to go back to day one, you could say, and you could give yourself a bit of advice on what you do or what you wouldn't do, like, what would it be and why?
Jesus, probably watch my weight a little bit better. He was grand for the Point of Pints. I never had to look after it, but since I have to watch it an awful lot better than what I did back then.
Yeah.
But no, look, it's not too bad. Look, I think I got plenty of experience Point of Pinting, and I think I turned in the right time. I actually rang Davy Russell and Jamie Codd before I made any decision, just to get their view in on it, and they both just said I don't see any reason why not, and I'd win the best turn was, and I went when they thought, and they were right at the back.
Yeah, and they're two great men to have to give opinions on anyway. Like two of the best, I suppose, one of the best professionals ever to live, and one of the best amateurs to ever fucking live. Like, so it was definitely a nice little bit of pull there, Shane, in fairness to you. But just, I suppose, finishing up, is there a horse that you haven't ridden yet that you'd really like to get the leg up on?
There's a lot of
them. If you were to nail down one, let's just say now, right, the horse you've been most impressed with, say, this year, that you weren't riding yourself.
Jesus. I'd probably say Nergamine around Cork a couple of weeks ago, but
yeah,
I doubt it. Last performance that day, I thought. But no, he's just he's different gravy.
Yeah, he definitely is, and you summed it right up there. Different gravy is right. But I think that's basically it, Shane. I'm going to let you get back now, and look at very well done there today. Very best of luck for you now for the next couple of days, and sure, look at hopefully we'll be looking back on this in another year or two, and you've a few Grade 1 wins to your name. But look at, before we go, I want to thank all the people that are supporting, whether it's YouTube, Patreon, or whatever it is like that. We'll leave a link in the description below for the Patreon service as well. It's €10 a month, basically helps fund the podcast and helps, I suppose, keep this podcast going, and gets the likes of Shane and different people from all different walks of life in the industry a voice to, you could say, the voiceless. I know, look at Shane has been very, I suppose, very popular in the media front now with the season he's had so far, but an awful lot of people, like the stable staff and different things like that, they haven't necessarily got too much, I suppose, coverage in the media for all the hard work they do, and we're doing exactly that. So look at Shane, thanks very much again for coming on. Anyone looking in, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you all again very, very soon with another great interview. Shane, thanks very much.
Thanks very much, Shane. Thanks for having me.